Item 9 is a presentation from a Centerline Schools wall-to-wall career activities. Eve Kaltz. I need a motion to receive and file this item before Commissioner Sauger, supported by Commissioner Myjack. Okay, go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Thank you for allowing us to be here. My name is Eve Kaltz. I'm the superintendent of Centerline Public Schools, which is down on the south end of the county. I had the privilege of attending the Macomb County Business Awards breakfast, where we heard from a Ford NGL leader, and they talked about career academies, and I went back to the office and spoke to the two assistant superintendents about coming to share our story. And here we are. We work closely with the city of Centerline and Warren because we serve in the school district, both part of Warren and the city of Centerline. And that was evidenced when we were able to pass a $53.7 million bond initiative. That bond work you can see on the second page of the handout. Will be doing a lot in the district, but most importantly will allow us to build safety and security updates for all of our buildings. It will be a 3-point entry system through all of the buildings. Many years ago, we had a student that came to our middle school as a 6th grader, and we got to know this student. He came with lots and lots of hurdles to overcome, but he wasn't an angry student. He was just kind of apathetic about his learning. And the staff really wrapped around him. We provided basic needs for him, as well as supported him in his learning and in any way that we could. And he was a senior, and I was over at the high school and happened to run into him. And I said, what's the plan for next year? And he kind of shrugged and said, I have nothing. And I said, well, I don't understand that. What does that mean? And he said, Miss Kaltz, you and I both know if you don't go to college, you're nothing. And I stood and spoke to him for a few more minutes about tapping into our counselors, and I told him I'd make an appointment for him to speak to his counselor, and we'd make sure he had a direction. But then I walked back across the parking lot feeling more defeated than I have in the 30 years of my career in Centerline. And I met with Lisa and Andrew and said, we're going to reimagine our high school because we are committed to making sure that every one of our students is on the path for a successful future. These are some of the things we've done in the district, but Lisa and Andrew are going to give you more information about the career academies of Centerline.
Thank you very much for coming. Appreciate it.
So our students in 9th grade attend a 9th grade academy, and that's, you've probably heard of that happening in other districts. We saw the power of the 9th grade academy and teachers wrapping around those students and making that transition from middle school to high school a little bit easier. We began to look at how could we take that idea of the academies and make that beneficial to the other students in our schools. We traveled to Nashville, we traveled to Pinellas County, we did a lot of research on how do high schools help students to understand the importance of seeing their future while they're still in high school. If you have a teenager, you know that you can tell them something over and over and over again, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they understand the words that are coming out of your mouth, or they don't want to believe it unless they discover that on their own. And so that is kind of the premise of the Career Academy. So in front of you, you have a brochure of our wall-to-wall academies that we opened last fall. So 9th graders, we bring in businesses, we partner, we take kids out on field trips. We have them discover their strengths. What are their passions? What is it that they may be interested in? And then we're bringing it to our high school, and we're allowing we have the students choose to be a part of one of two academies for 10th through 12th grade. So no longer are students in our high school taking classes because they're looking through the course catalog and saying, oh, I might want to do this, or I'll try this. We have organized them in a way around different career clusters so they can really understand and begin to develop a sense of understanding about themselves and what they may want to do after high school. So one of our academies is the Academy of Industry, Technology, and Innovation. And then students choose to take part in a particular pathway. So there are 4 pathways under that academy: the pathway of engineering and technology, innovative art and design, business, commerce, and entrepreneurship, and digital design and communication. We do not limit students to only looking at one particular career, but we cluster them around fields so that they're able to understand all of the possible careers that would be opportunities for them. So you can see through, in this ITI Academy, students would then take classes in 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade. It also allows them to earn college credit while they're still in high school through some AP or certifications. And that's one of our goals in Centerline, is that every student who graduates from Centerline High School will either have college credit or an industry recognized certificate. So you'll see under each of those pathways some of those certificates.
One of the things that we saw as educators is the battle with engagement in school. Schools look like they did a long time ago, and we knew that kids were showing us that they weren't engaged. We also had students telling us that they didn't see the relevancy. And we have students now. I had 2 students come in to interview me for the school newspaper. And I said, well, before we do that, tell me what you think of the academies. One of the kids turned around, and this is a child that I have been involved with and have been involved with his family. He said, well, I didn't know schools were supposed to help you get your career. And that really struck me, because that's exactly what we want to do, and that's what we're seeing is happening. We're kind of the launch pad for their future, for career.
So a big part of our academies is business partnerships, or just partnerships in general. Over the last 4 or 5 years, we've been making a strong push to partner with our cities that we sit within, Centerline and Warren, and we've made a lot of progress there. And that's another reason why we're here today, because partnerships are the name of the game when it comes to Centerline. Annually, we hold a board meeting with the city of Centerline, a co-board meeting between the school board and the city. The Iron Bell Trail that's coming from Belle Isle and will hopefully end up in Ironwood, I believe it is, Michigan, and cuts through Macomb County. With our bond work, they're going to meander that through our district, which is pretty exciting. Little Centerline is going to have this Iron Bell Trail right through it, through Macomb County. The business partners that you see here on the ITI slide for Next Generation Learning, Crest Ford that sits right across the street from our high school, FANUC and TACOM, a lot of these organizations are organizations that I hear about from the county all the time in economic development discussions. So we're really fortunate in Centerline to have these same business partners right here within our district. And what we really focus on is, what do you need from us? Because it's not what the business partners can do for us, but what we can do for our business partners. And I kind of get that flavor from our county as well. What can we do for you? It's the same philosophy that we have with our kids. What is it that you want to do with your future, and how do we help you get there? That's always our focus in Centerline.
Excellent.
One of the most important things that we do with our partners is to really immerse kids in a day in the life of somebody on the job, because trying to make a decision about what direction they want to take post-high school is very difficult if they're only learning through books or they see a few presenters come in. So we actually have partnered with all of these businesses, and we send our kids out for job shadowing. We send our kids out for internships. We just secured a partnership with Ascension Health, and had to go through lots and lots of, jump through lots of hoops to allow students to go on site. But they need to see that there are thousands of jobs in the medical field in those hospitals, and it's not just a doctor or a nurse. There's many, many things they could be doing, and that really affords them the opportunity to see firsthand what it looks like. The other thing that I think's been really powerful are these businesses allow our staff to come out. So we send our core staff out, and they go to Fanuc Robotics, and they see where math is being applied. So when they're in front of their kids, they can reference that. We have, Centerline is rich in manufacturing and engineering, and we have lots of business and industry. We have 2 skilled trade schools that are within a few miles of our high school. So we're taking kids through Local 80, we're taking kids through the electrical apprenticeship school. People are speaking with them, our teachers are visiting. It's really been powerful because as a superintendent, as I saw kids cross the stage, I know those kids, I've been there 30 years, and I grieved the fact that they got through, but I wasn't sure if we had given them a clear path to a future that was sustainable.
Very good. Well, we've got some commissioners want to speak. Commissioner Romano, you're first.
If I had gold stars, I'd put it on each of your foreheads. And I mean that sincerely. It's time. It's about time. What you're doing is absolutely outstanding. And I mean that from my heart. The kids today don't know what they want to do. Then you mentioned that they look at the curriculum that they have at school and they say, how am I going to use this in everyday life? What do I need this for? Getting them on the job, so to speak. Let them see what they like, what type of flavor they like. Honestly, I could stand up here all day and commend you people for what you're doing. I wish this would branch out to the other school districts. It's a tremendous idea that I think needs to be planted and seeded and watered, and it has to grow because this is a fantastic idea that you're doing. My congratulations to you.
Thank you. We're being
Thank you very
invited
much.
to present all over the state. We presented at a federal conference, but it's just not something that a lot of districts, have. We have people coming to visit from all over the state.
Thank you. Commissioner Duje?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's about time. I've been screaming for years about skilled help and the fact that there is no skilled help, about running machines, about, other things in the manufacturing world. A lot of districts got rid of their shop, got rid of their machines, got rid of everything else. I commend you on your initiatives for this. Not everybody is made out to be a social studies or political science major and so on and so forth. But that being said, you should be commended for what you're doing, how you're doing it. I think it's a plus for the students, and I think it's a plus for the business community at hand, because there is no skilled help. The skilled help that was out there has either moved, retired, or died.
We just received a $105,000 grant from MDE to add welding back into our building
Yeah,
in the fall.
My point exactly. Quick question about Fanuc. Does Fanuc have a facility in Centerline?
They, about 6 years ago, I got a call, and they had just kind of started the education arm of family.
Okay.
So she called me and said, somebody recommended you because they said that you still think the CTE programs are important. And we went out there and we were able to purchase a $350,000 current machine used in industry for $35,000. And then I was
Nice.
able to send, and then we bought another one, a CNC machine for like
Right.
$48,000. It was $480, currently used in industry. And then we were able to send 2 teachers out to become certified FANUC trainers, so they can now actually certify our students if they get through all the modules.
Perfect. I think this is marvelous. Congratulations. Keep it going. Thank you.
Thank you very much. No others. Commissioner Sauger?
Yeah, I've visited the the carpenter's place in there. It's first class, and I'm very proud of you because I've known people who have come out of there. Some have gone on to the college to become instructors. But it took an awful lot of convincing from you 3 people to have Commissioner Romano say something nice about Centerline.
Not true.
Thank you very much. Been motion made and supported. Please vote, receive and file. Thank you very much. Continued success.
We'd love to give you a tour. Our